All right, welcome everyone to our LEAD 2023 fall program information. So this is our Q&A session. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Sylvia Gill. I am the founder and president of Neuro Consulting Solutions. And on our screens, we have a wonderful staff as well. So we do have Lynette joining us, Lynette Herbert, who's our director of neuro hires, as well as Maria Ramos, who is our community engagement manager. So everyone's here for you, and you'll also have an opportunity to hear a little bit from the instructors as well. So what are we going to cover? We are going to be talking a little bit about what is NCS, what is Neuro Consulting Solutions, who are we, what is it we do, what are our services. Then we'll go into what is Program Lead. And then for those of you that are interested, we're going to show you the steps to register. And as I mentioned before, we're going to open it up for a Q&A session. So any questions that you do have, use that chat, and then we're going to open it up to do some live questions. All right, so who are we? Who is Neuro Consulting Solutions? Not to worry, I'm not going to read all of this, but if you're on the recording, you can pause it and go through it. But bottom line, what we are is we are a team that really wants to look at the awareness, right? There's a lot of awareness of disabilities and neurodiversity, but we really support companies, programs into bringing that awareness into action. So we really make sure that we are supporting these organizations so that they could do the best types of services. And then we also provide services to neurodiverse adults, right? Really helping them build their independence. That's always the goal, right? Raise your hand if you want to be independent. Yeah, we all have that goal. I'm still working on it, right? We're all kind of working on it together. And even those that are independent still need help, right? So what's really great is we all learn from each other. You know, I always say maybe I'm not good at this, but Lynette and Maria are really good at other things. And that's how we all learn and grow. So really working with each other as teams to make sure that we're providing the best type of service and really embrace and create that inclusive opportunity. Okay, so that's us. And bottom line, we do 4 main services. So neuro hires, we do work with companies to really provide equal opportunities for employment. We have neuro communities where we work with different programs to make sure that there's inclusive programming, you know, just like I know some of you are on the friendship journey and Camp Wings of Friendship. So we work with programs like that. Neuro Speaks, where we do different trainings within companies and organizations. And then this one's the crucial one, right? Our neural services. So this is what we're going to focus and talk about. So it's really for neurodiverse adults that are seeking supports on really either meaningful employment, life skills with that goal of independence. Okay, so that's the services piece. And that's where we really focus on Program Lead. All right, so thinking of our neural services, and this is where we're going to look at our Program Lead. What's new? So for those of you maybe that have taken some of our classes, we have changed a little bit of the format with the same goal of really working on your independence, but tweaking it based on some of your great feedback. So a little bit about the program. So NCS offers virtual group classes. I love group classes because, like I said, I think there's so much value in learning from each other. So it's not just like a boring presentation where you're just like, okay, this is what they're talking about. We really want to make it interactive. So there's a lot of dialogue and we're learning from different experiences. So that's a really great, I think, different way of why our programs are a little more unique. And what we're now doing is we are doing 10-week, more intensive sessions, and really from amazing instructors. And you're going to meet with them shortly. So all the sessions provide you with the tools and strategies to help you succeed and build those independence. So instead of those monthly groups where you kind of take one class a month or, you know, and it's not as consistent, we wanted to do 10 weeks back to back. And that way too, it's the same group, the same instructor, and then we can build up on those skills. And we're going to show you some other great supplemental resources you do get by joining Program Lead. We broke it down into 3 main categories. So we are going to be focusing on social and coping skills. We call that social awareness. Stina will be teaching that. we look at Adulting 101. Natalie will be teaching this, and what's really great is we're going to learn life skills, executive functioning skills directly in the home, right? So we're not going to just talk about cooking, we're going to do it. We're not going to talk about laundry, you're going to do it. And so what's really having an advantage of being virtual is you can generalize some of those skills in the home. And then the last one we're going to really focus on is successful employment. So it's not just about finding the job, but it's how do we successfully maintain the job? That's the hard part. Sometimes the easy part is kind of finding something, but really then how do we succeed in our roles and how do we know what's the right job for us? And that can really be a challenge as you're becoming into adulthood and you're like, what is it that I do want to do? What are my goals? And those are things that Diana's going to really focus on. So when is it? Of course, we've built out these visual calendars for you, and it all depends on the sessions that you register. So they are 10-week virtual program sessions. They are from 7 to 8 p.m., and the classes will either take place on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, okay? And the best part, because I had special requests not to let go of health and fitness and Coach David, because I know he is a favorite. Anyone that participates in L.E.A.D gets to go to the health and fitness at no additional cost. So you get those 4 health and fitness classes at no extra cost if you are registered in any one of these courses. So don't worry, he didn't go away. He's still with us, and we're very excited that he's going to stay on with us. All right. So we will be giving you out these calendars. That way you can, print them, have them on your phone, and then know when the classes are. The great thing too, Maria every week will send a reminder the day before class and the hour before class. All right. So you will get those reminders. And that's a great way to really work on some of your executive functioning skills, because we got to make sure we're checking our emails. We're putting it in our calendars. And these are skills that we can work on as part of that independence. Okay. So we will have all those prompts ready for you so you know when class is. As we mentioned, there are 3 courses that you can choose from. Those social awareness, the adulting, successful employment. You can take 1 course, you could take 2, you can take all 3. That really always depends on, your scheduling. What are some of the goals you want to work on? And what do you want to target? And maybe this semester you want to work on one thing, and then the next semester you want to work on something different. So again, it's all designed based on what you need for your independence and how much you can take on. So who are going to be the ideal participants? Right now, we ask that individuals are 16 and older, because we are really working on some of these independent adulthood. So that transition into adulthood is a really great way to start. So we do ask that at least participants are over the age of 16. You do need to be able to actively engage with a group in virtual platforms. I do understand that it's sometimes challenging going from in person and then kind of doing things in a computer. So we want you to make sure that you're familiar with Zoom, how to be in a virtual platform, and we will be there if you do need any assistance, right? So if you need a practice or, how do I work Zoom, we're here to help you. And we also want to make sure that the participants are really interested in learning skills, right? So we don't want mom saying, hey, we're forcing you to do this. You guys are adults. And so there's only so much parents can do to really have you motivated to be independent. So we want that, what we call that self-motivation, right? You have that goal. You want to be independent. So we're looking for participants that are motivated, right? And we can help you with that motivation. I do love all these smiles that are happening right now. Technology, right? So this is a virtual program. So we do, it always is best to have a computer, a laptop. iPads are also very helpful too. I don't recommend using your cell phones, only because it's really challenging to kind of see everybody and the presentation. So, ideally, we really want you to either have a computer or an iPad, okay? Now, phones do work, they just don't work as well. So how much are these courses? So each course, which you can see how many classes are included, right? So if you're going to sign up for 1 course, that gives you 14 classes. And what was really important for us was to make this affordable. And I always say, This is less expensive than one. I know it looks a lot, right? So we look at it and we're like, whoa, that's a lot of money. But this is less than typically one therapy session. That was our goal. Okay. Now, if you are looking at the pricing and you're saying, oh, I don't know, we do have payment plans, we do work with you. So if there is some financial hardships and you need any assistance and you want to talk about pricing wise, please let us know. Maria will be, I'll share her information. She'll introduce herself as well. We can discuss that. But as of now, it's $275 for one course plus the health and fitness. And then the more you sign up, there are additional discounts. So 510 or 705. And again, that gives you up to 34 classes within the 3-month period. So those are just, terms of pricing wise. And what does that include? So that is 10 1-hour instructional and supportive sessions. Okay. And we do make them small, so we don't have very large classes, because we really want to make sure the instructors are able to really give some of that one-on-one, attention. So they're not large classes. So we typically have anywhere between 5 to 8 participants. And then the best part of this is the supplemental resources. And so what does that mean? You get the class recording, the presentation, visual supports, supplemental resources. And these resources, we encourage you to share it with a loved one, a support system, a therapist, to keep practicing these skills. Because we know even 10 hours in a semester is not enough. So what's great is once you have them, you get to keep them. And so you get to have all this content. And not only that, that also includes those 4 health and fitness classes. Okay. So really quick, I want to introduce Stina. She's going to share a little bit about her class, and as well as some of the topics they will be covering for those that are interested in signing up for social awareness.
Thanks, Sylvia. So I'm Stina Ford, and I'm teaching the social and coping skills class. My background, I think I was just trying to calculate, I think it's almost 14 years that I've been working in this field, providing educational services, coaching, support services with social emotional skills, executive function, education choices, independent living. So I live and breathe this, and I love it. I love having these conversations and providing the skills and the strategies and tools that I know of that have worked. So I'm really excited for the classes coming up, because we're going to get even deeper, and I'm loving the intensity of this model and this shift that we're taking, because I think it's really going to allow us to really get in there and get some practical application with support from each other as a group. And then I'm excited to be able to see you all each week, one after the other. So there's not so much span between that. First class, we'll jump right into continuing with our conversation on conversational skills. So really the different types of conversations and how to make them and how to navigate through them. And then we'll go into resolving conflict, some digital communication, social media. So, because that's always really tricky when we shift and we have just text to work through, and really knowing how to navigate professional areas as well as personal, and that there's difference. So we'll do some social inferences and like reading the room work, perspective taking. We'll talk about sarcasm. And then we'll also do, for a few of our classes, I want to get into really understanding the roles of emotions and like the connection, the mind-body connection, because a lot of times we notice physical signals that tell us, oh, I'm getting activated. And being proactive in our strategies is essential for avoiding dysregulation and really working through those environments that might make it difficult for us to connect with others. And then we'll end on I think it's the 10th class, and we'll work on when plans change. So being mentally flexible. And for many of us, when something changes, especially last minute, that is very difficult for us to work through. So there are some great strategies and tools that I want to share with you and then practice together.
Thank you so much, Stina. All right. So really quick, I'm going to share with Natalie. Many of you have taken her courses before, either in L.E.A.D with executive functioning, life skills, And we kind of decided, I think we got to put it all together and do a little bit of an adulting 101 boot camp. Natalie is a wonderful professional, has had over, I mean, I think she's been doing ABA since she was a young child. She is a sister, a sibling of an older, of a younger brother who has autism, so has been in that journey since she was a kid. And so she really is talented in terms of shaping it. She has a background in ABA therapy and is now a case manager at a nonprofit down in Miami. And so some of the skills that she's going to be working on is that self-determination, buying and sorting food, prepping, making simple snacks, personal care, safety awareness, organization. I think I'm going to have to take her class as well. Those home management, awareness and problem solving, mindfulness, and recreation and leisure. Again, I think what really makes this class very special is we're going to be able to generalize those skills directly in the home, right? So if we're going to be learning to make a simple snack and how do we navigate the kitchen or chores and things like that in our home, we can practice them right there. So again, these classes are not just lecture based and we're just kind of sitting there. We want you engaged, actively participating, so you can practice these skills as well. So that's really our adulting 101, practicing the life skills and your executive functioning, which can be a very big challenge, especially as we go into adulthood. So next I'm going to introduce Diana, who is new to our team and wonderful. And she's going to share a little bit about her successful employment class.
Hi everyone, my name is Diana L.E.A.D. So a little background on myself. I'm an FIU International or Florida International University alum. I got my BA in psychology for my undergrad, and now I'm pursuing my doctorate. And it's a very long name, industrial and organizational psychology, but it's basically psychology applied to the workplace. And I work in a variety of research projects that aim to promote diversity and inclusion in the workplace. And I'm very excited to teach this course. The topics will start from knowing what job is right for you, advocating for yourself at work. We'll also introduce topics about how the law may take place in your journey. So knowing what's relevant, knowing what funding and supports are out there, such as the vocational rehabilitation, resources available for free on the internet that talk about job accommodations, how to prepare resumes and cover letters, knowing how much to prepare or how the process is if you're applying to multiple jobs, looking at workplace supports, the hiring process, and work etiquette. And it's a very flexible course. So if we find that the group is very interested in one particular topic for the week, I'm super flexible and I could talk about different topics that are more relevant for the journey that everybody's going through. And I'm open to answer any questions at the end. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Diana. And I think what's really great is kind of as Diana had mentioned, it really is a little bit flexible. And I think that's the beauty of having these 10-week cohorts, because we really want to make sure that the group, you know, the topics and the style of the instructors are really geared toward the participants. We'll talk a little bit about registration, but we're going to ask a lot of questions of what your goals are, what accommodations do you need? That way we really can design the classes based on the needs of the participants that have registered. So what's really great is maybe you do one cohort and you do another one, they could be totally different topics based on your goals. So last and not least, not to worry, Coach David is back. So he will be doing our health and fitness with Coach David. So they won't be as consistent. So they're not going to be 10 weeks, but there are 4 sessions that he will be coaching. And the format is really great. He gives a health tip in the beginning. He teaches about 2 to 3 exercises, and then they do a Tabata style circuit training. Lisa makes me do the class every single time, and then I end up sweating the whole time. So we will be there participating with you, right? Doing those exercises. Now, here's the thing. If you are not joining L.E.A.D, you could still access the health and fitness, which is one of, you know, many, it's a favorite. So if, let's say you are not joining L.E.A.D program, but you're just interested in doing health and fitness, you are able to register only for health and fitness, and that would be $30, and that would include all the 4 classes. So if you are in LEAD, you do not have to register for health and fitness. We automatically register you. But if you just want to do health and fitness, then you would register with that QR code. And again, we're going to send you all this information step by step of what you want to register for, what those courses are about, the topics. That way you know what it is you decide to do. And this is kind of what a course website's going to look like. This is a sample. It's actually a course that I taught on friendships and relationships. And this is kind of the intensity of the supplemental resources that you do receive. So in your class website, you'll have your class schedule, your facilitator information, their contact information, so you can directly connect with them. And then each session will be on there, the recording, the presentation, any supplemental resources that they share, so that you can then practice it. So at the end of those 10 weeks, this is kind of what it looks like, and you get to keep that. So these are skills that you can go back and then say, I remember Stina had mentioned this and I'm in this situation. Go back and watch her recording. Look at those supplemental resources and then practice it. If you are also receiving therapy with another therapist, share your share your website and say, hey, I'm working on this in class. Can we practice this? Diana gave me this really great resource and a great exercise. Can we do this in therapy? Or I want to do this with a parent. So this is really what it looks like that you then get to walk away with. So, wrapping it up, our neural services, again, we offer 3 main services. That health and fitness. So you can, if you are a LEAD participant, you automatically get registered to participate. If not, you can join just for $30. The LEAD, we went through all the courses and the options. And then the financial literacy, which is another great program. We're going to be launching again in August. We're just confirming some dates. And those are 6-week cohorts that are going to be happening on Thursdays from 6 to 7 p.m. So, and the best part of the Chase one is they're free. So financial literacy, we highly recommend all our participants to be a part of it so we can work on some of those financial literacy. And we are going to be doing some new topics. So if you are ready to register and it's something that you're really interested, we're going to walk you through the steps of what you need to do. There are 2 ways that you can register. You can scan the QR code, or you can click on the website. Again, this will be sent out to you. So those are your 2 options. And when you click on the website or scan the QR code, it is going to take you to the registration. On the registration, we really want to be able to get to know you. So that's a really great opportunity for you to share, the accommodations that you're going to need specifically, so that instructors are ready to know what's the best way to structure their classes. What are your personal goals? What do you want to learn? And then we really can get to know some of the goals you personally have, so we can embed that within our lessons. And then, like we had mentioned, you'll then go ahead and click which classes you would like to take. And then you can submit for the payment. So it's as easy as that. You just submit your information, the payment. There are 2 ways to submit payment, which is either through credit card or Zelle. As we had mentioned before, if there are any financial hardships or you need any, have any questions about payment, just give us a call and let us know, okay? So this is a little bit about learn more and share. So you can visit the Neural Services page that is down here. We'll also be sharing this with you. On this page, what's really great is I love a good Padlet, right? So you're going to see lots of Padlets because everything's in one spot. I am not a type of person that likes to look for things, right? Give it to me in one click. So if you do this one click, everything is there for you. The flyer, your calendar. We'll put the recording here in the live webinar so you can have access to that if you have some questions. How to register. So again, you can register either through the link or that QR code. And then you're going to get some information about instructors, class topics, and we'll start adding that to our Padlet as well. I want to introduce to you our amazing community engagement manager. We'll spotlight her here.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Ramos, as you can see on the screen, and as Cece introduced me to you guys. Again, I am NCS's Community Engagement Manager. So a little bit of background on me. In addition to that, I'm still in school getting my bachelor's in supervision and management. And kind of what I do for NCS is I am like your liaison. I am your point of contact. So if you have any questions, if you need help registering, if you just want a little bit more information about how to access the resources that we provide to you, I'm your go-to. And if you see any social media posts or any emails like Cece mentioned, that's me. So again, anything you have, any questions that you may have, call me, shoot me an email. I got you.
And we really wanted to make sure that it was important for Maria to kind of introduce herself, because sometimes she's like in the background, right? But we really want to make sure you know that someone is there to support you, to help you. So if you're not sure how to register, if you have questions, Maria will be the point of contact. If you need help with any Zoom questions, how do I set up? What do I need? She can be there to do even some one-on-ones to help you understand how to navigate Zoom, okay? So that is our go-to person. So we'll pause the recording and we'll answer some live questions.